Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Lisa Luciardi here with our new teaching, The World, Heal America, Love and God. That book was written before 2016, and what's happening today is happening now. In that, what was written in that book about the economic holocaust and biowarfare and cell change makeup and international issues, geopolitical problems, China, and also issues regarding the controls of government and also the imbalance of our monetary system. I'm very concerned. This is Lisa Luciardi with our need to get the world, heal America, love and God, and also rise to God's truth. I've been a political analyst and politician for many years now on my own independently, and they've used a lot of my ideas and consulted. So I wanted to tell you, I'm very concerned. I'm going to speak to you like if we were just having a discussion at a group discussion, and not a formal discussion, but a group discussion, just assessing the situation here. And I'm very concerned about this Kamala, that she's running for president, and people are not looking past, the whole view of everything. They need to look from up high and then look down at all the vicinity. And remember, I told you the new word is the axis. To look at all axes, all sides. I don't know all the details about her history because I don't always study the politician. I just see the issues and solutions and how to solve solutions. And if the politicians agree to solve our problems in America or the world, then I'm happy about that, and I deliver the solutions to help them. But I don't always study their outcomes of what they did in the past, present, future in detail, because I believe that politicians and people could change and they could be redeemed for the better, and better people while time goes by. I believe in forgiveness. I believe in things that happen that people do, and that's what we need to do, is forgive each other and go on. But we have to look at the picture here. I heard that she incarcerated people for marijuana, and then she smoked marijuana. And you've heard me talk about marijuana, the smoke, because I know the smoke hurts the children, and it degenerates the brain and gives brain disease and takes away the brain cells, and also causes narcissism and diseases over a long period of time when you smoke marijuana for the regular adults. And so I don't believe in the smoking of marijuana, but I believe in the pills, another format for it, or liquid. And also I don't believe in the vaping. And I know these are simple things. People say they're not big drugs, but if a lot of people take them, they destroy the human body. And the vaping also is terrible. But getting back to the marijuana, because vaping is known now to also hurt the brain cells, and also the organs. The children should not be around it, and it shouldn't be in the workforce. It should be obsolete. They hide it in their hand and they smoke it in different areas because it's easy to hide, and it's just a smell. It's not a smoke. You don't see the smoke. It should be obsolete from all businesses. But going back to what's Kamala, if you notice her mentality, she was always laughing, like she had something up her sleeve. Something just wasn't right to me. As an analyzer in the beginning, something wasn't right to me about her character, and I always felt that she had another motive. And I believe this is the motive. I believe that the motive is they had to plan to take her in, and they want her to be president, the Democratic elite communists. And to put out Biden. Stansberry is a famous newsletter, and he talked about this, that this is what they want to do. And so it's a very, very serious thing. So maybe it was already in the workings. And so because they wanted to get rid of Biden and put her in. But if you look, okay, let's say that's not true because we don't have all the facts, correct? But if you look at everything, why would the marijuana, she put every incarcerated and then smoke marijuana, and putting many people in jail for reasons that weren't so important. But on the other hand, she never protected the borders. That's like the borders is a serious thing. That's like allowing ISIS to get through, which I'm sure ISIS came through, the Chinese CCP came through, many criminals came through, African criminals, many criminals, many. from all nations, Latin criminals, and just regular people that were sent here to try to destroy our country. And why would she allow the borders to be open? Very serious crimes about geopolitical power. She doesn't have the mentality to even think that way, correct? She never discussed that problem. She never protected her country. She could have protected her country. Even let's say that she didn't win the vote. You never heard her say, let's put the wall up, let's protect the borders, let's close the borders up. But now, and they let all those people in, correct? She saw when all those people went in, correct? Those people didn't come in during President Trump's time. They came in during Kamala and Biden's time. All those people, you saw all those people. That was all planned because they had pre-planned strategy to try to bring this Kamala in and get rid of Biden. It was all planned, pre-planned before Biden came in. That's what I believe. And I always believed that there was some type of another agenda. And remember, Obama is he's one of the people that are in control of all these scenarios. That's what they said, correct? And so why would she even allow Sullivan to give money to the Iranians and she's vice president. That's second in line to president, to give money to the Iranians to mill oil and then to stop all our oil. Doesn't that make sense, correct? Why? That's hypocritical to get another country oil. We got Venezuela oil, and they also have green problems when they mine their oil. That's hypocritical. Why should we give green problems to another country and not our own? And then many people lost their jobs, plus they didn't know how to write up leases with the oil. Okay? Does that make sense? They didn't know how to write the leases up for oil, so they couldn't have those jobs for the leases. They should have used President Trump's and his team scenario, plus they couldn't do the scraps of the oil. They also have a business where they have leftover scraps. So three things. And then also Texas is a big country for oil, and other states, but many people lost their legacy of the small business Texas oil. And why did she allow all the burning of the, of many of the fields, of the agriculture fields, because they want to control, and the shutdown of the chicken farms, and over a period of time, you know who owns all the ham? And it is the big ham farms is China. And why doesn't she ever talk about the food problems? Why doesn't she ever talk about the sending of the manufacturing and the problems of China and the borders? The borders, not only the borders our immediate border, but the borders of all the oceans that I've been talking about for years, because your sister talked about, because I'm a geopolitical specialist, about the borders of the ocean, and up on high in the air, I drew a dome, and I didn't realize they were making a dome, but I drew like a picture. How could you make her the say that she could be the president when she doesn't have an experience? But it showed by the fact when she was vice president, which she did, she could have mentioned, let's say she didn't have the power to make all decisions, she could have mentioned. And what about the children's schooling? All the children are lost and abused across the border. I could go on and on and on. And why wasn't that taken care of? And then she talks about that they did do some things, that they gave a tax break to the less fortunate, the people that make less money. But they did get some benefits. But on the long run, it's not that much at all, because the inflation is so high. By the time they pay their rent and the bills, they didn't get anything. The tax break's not going to help, and money, getting extra money for having children or getting a tax break, it's not going to help at all, because they're they can't save, and they're in the minus, because they make less. They make less money than what their expenses are, and they can't save because of inflation, and then also because the way of life. Many people live in fear, and they don't know. And unemployment also, there is a high unemployment, and then also the issue with the medical of the, during the time of Biden, because he's almost gone, and she's almost gone, are the vaccines and all the controls there in lockdown. They lost a lot of funds. So in the long run, there was no money made for the middle class, lower class. So nothing has been done, you know, in their position that I see. I'm sure some things were done, but in the long run, it's contraindication because of the high inflation, and most of those people lost their houses. So it's not a big thing, you know. Why didn't they set something up to save all the people's houses? So but then on the other hand, they gave money to Iran to mine the oil, and they stopped the oil wells. Correct? Why would they stop the oil wells when we need that money so people can keep their houses and keep their life? That's one of our greatest energies, greatest systems. It's a very, very serious thing. So now look at this, billionaires and people, Gen X and millennial and Democrats. Why would you even trust someone like that? Doesn't have any experience of anything. She doesn't even have like a written subjects on how to solve issues in America. That's what usually a politician does. He or she has ideas that are proven facts and ideas that are logical, and they deliver them. Then they empower the people. She doesn't even have it in it. Does that make sense? Why would you vote her in as president? You need to vote President Trump in the team. President Trump knows how to deliver the information properly and getting the best information. Even I noticed most of my ideas, all my ideas, most of them have been used, and they need to be revisited. Because I've been a political analyst writer to Save America for many years now, but he is seasoned to know how through business. But it showed by the fact when he was in that our borders were protected, our businesses, we didn't have war, our economy was much better. You know, the people had jobs, we were developing our infrastructure, we got the tariffs, paid with the tariffs, you know, from China. He's the first one. So billionaires, you have to really think, she cannot protect you in your businesses. I wouldn't even trust her because I believe that she would protect you even if because she doesn't even know how. And then if she had the power to change things, but she might be controlled, correct, by the elite communists. And I know the billionaires now, they don't want to be elite communists. In the military, we have to be very careful that they follow through on protecting the people in a good way. But this is a very serious thing. And the military are saviors, you know, are angels. But in God we trust. Of course, for me, it's God who we can't do anything without God. That's what I believe. Like President George Washington, when he got down on his knees in 1776 and asked God to protect us and save us. So that's the thing on that. What do you think about that? Do you think that she's able to protect your billion dollar business? Do you think that she's able to protect your new life? Gen X and millennials, do you think Kamala could do this? It shows. Does she? Does she? I showed you the history of her work and what the outcome is, and her. And what did she concentrate when she was in vice president? None of these things that are important. And the worst thing that happened to our country during Biden's entry and her and Kamala was the borders are open, and it destroyed our country, and we have to be very careful now. We need to redevelop it, get our safety back, get our footing back, and we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with the immigrants, paying all these immigrants, and they gave all this money for the immigrants, homes for the immigrants, for a purpose, for voting, and they had a plan and scenario to try to take America. These elite communist Democrats, they don't care about you. If they cared about you, they would make sure that your bills and your empowerment, your bills and your housing and your life was taken care of. No, but they brought in immigrants that most of them were criminals, and one of every four become a criminal because it's human trafficking. They don't have any other way. One out of every four are human trafficked and are forced in criminality. That's terrible. That should not be. And as I told you, the billionaire countries, these countries that they bring these people in, many people are billionaires, but they don't take care of their people, and that's why I believe there needs to be some negotiation with these people that are billionaires in other countries to help us with these immigrants if they're going to stay. But we need to assess, because we cannot have any of these criminals, many criminals. In the fentanyl thing, did she make sure the fentanyl thing was taken care of, and all the people find the businesses where they develop the fentanyl thing and where they keep it? No. Did you hear anything about it? I didn't. Now all these things are questionable. So do you think that we should vote in somebody that doesn't have any experience, or doesn't even have a plan, or hasn't been a negotiator in delivering information, been an influencer, a consultant, advocate to proving the points that they deliver information, people use it? Has she done that? Do you think that she has? No, this is very serious. It's my responsibility as a political analyst, a guard for America independently, to show areas to protect the individuals, America and humanity, in the best way that we can by questioning the situation. It's all rhetoric, that it's rhetoric what they say. It's rhetoric, that she could be president. It's a rhetoric. She doesn't have any thing to support her position. You need to ask the Socratic method. That is to question. But God bless you. And this is Lucia Arden with Our Need to Get to the World Hill, America Love and God, Arise to God's Truth, Restore and Keep America's Freedom. And I wrote these books before all this stuff was happening. They're all coming to pass, many of the items. But we need to bring freedom, justice for all. We need to look at this in a calm manner, and we need to all vote President Trump. And high integrity people in each nation, each state, each area. It's a very serious thing. This is very serious. This is a trickery. This is a treason.
A treason. Kamala, trickery, treason, treachery against American people.
Open door of death to America.
Open door to death to America if you vote Kamala. It's elite communist, even if she doesn't realize she's controlled.
We need to vote in President Trump.
We need to vote in President Trump.
And justice to the free.
For justice and freedom, it shows that they'll take care of the truth of justice. Young voters, do you realize this? You have to look at the whole picture.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
God bless you. Have a beautiful day.
God bless you. Have a beautiful day.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Trust in God.
Trust in God. We have to trust in God. Millennial, Gen X, American, Democrats. We have to trust in God. We have to look at the whole picture. We cannot vote an elite communist Democrat anymore. We'll get the same picture, and you'll lose more and more of your legacy, and more you'll be controlled. We need to vote in justice, freedom, and President Trump and his team and the freedom warriors and the people who work for him want to do this. This is very essential that we keep America free. Otherwise, the third world countries will come and get her. And you'll have many trials and tribulations, and you'll lose your work, your jobs, your housing, without any integration of support of freedoms. We need to work together. And I believe the billionaires, they want to work together because they realize Iran and China and even Russia are our enemies. But we have to pray for Russia, as we know that we're supposed to evangelize them. That's part of the Bible, if you believe the Bible's apocalyptic. But China is also our enemy. We have to realize that we need to work together in good business with them by bringing back our manufacturing, our small businesses in other countries and other areas. And then we have Iran. Iran wants to take us over. As Prime Minister Netanyahu had a beautiful speech that is true in light of exactly what I said, but he's the leader, the Prime Minister of Israel. I said that originally that the protesters are being used by Hamas and Iran and Hezbollah as puppets to bring international violence, and that Hezbollah, Iran, Hamas are Iran. Always wanted to bring down America. It's a history to take down America. And he said that in his speech. And they're using the protesters for this. Protesters, Iran doesn't care about you. They would take care of everything from you. You don't want the Sharia law in America. That's why we need to check all our judges and all our court systems. That we do not want the Sharia law. We want to keep America a Judeo-Christian nation. And when we support Israel, we support Palestine. We support the protection of people around the world. We support the freedom of America. Did you know Rafah recently, they had a bombing in Rafah. 1,203 terrorists died and very few civilians died. And I didn't realize, my name's Lisa Luciard, and I asked, I'm a political analyst and a politician, I asked to take all the people out before they bombed, and I heard that they took most of the people out. And we need to realize that not only did the people lost limbs, the children and the people of Palestine, so did the Israelite fighters. And even Israelite fighters you saw in the speech, and I felt so terrible. They were Muslims side by side with the Jews. And that's what we're going to do. Demilitary and demobilization. Those are the two terms that Netanyahu, the prime minister, talks about. The same that they did when Hitler was killed and dead, and his life was kill and dead and stop it. Just the same thing with Iran and Hamas and Hezbollah has to be killed and stopped. God does want freedom. God wants freedom. He wants the death of evil. God brought his son to bring the death of evil and bring new life. So please, Iranian brothers, you're my brother. Right now, stop. Let go and let all your tools down. You're killing your brothers and sisters, the Palestinians. And that is going to be a free area, Gaza. And it's going to be overseen by people and police that are for peace, not for Hamas. Just like Prime Minister Netanyahu said, wake up, protesters, wake up, world that are with the Hamas. They're taking you, they're using you as a human shield. As I told you, a human shield. And Prime Minister Netanyahu said, one of the leaders of the Hamas said that they excel, the Palestinians excel as a human tool for us. That's terrible. That's terrible. And now they use it as a psychological tool for the protesters. But we are going to win. It's in the Bible. God wins. It's in Isaiah. It doesn't have anything to do with me. And Iranian brothers, let down your tools now before it's too late and you're going to lose your life. We need to do this, brothers and sisters. We need to vote in Trump. Do you realize what they did? The Democratic League Communists under Biden, Kamala, they sold our America, stopped our oil well and gave money to Iran to make oil. This is terrible. My name's Lisa Luciard. You've seen the truth. There's nothing to hide. And Israel has the most sophisticated pinpoint military tools and uses them properly to get out the terrorists. And we need to pray for the Palestinians that there's no more killing, no more deaths. No more killing, no more deaths at this time. Israel is a country, and the Israel army and the armed forces and Prime Minister Netanyahu are leaders to save the world in Europe from the clutches and shackles, as he said, of death of Iran. Just like I said before, they believe in death. They showed in their speaking they wanted to take over parts of Europe and then America. I don't believe in war. I don't believe in killing, but we need to protect our people around the world. You need to vote in Trump, vote in freedom. This all comes together. Kamala does not have the tools to take care of America. She will be controlled by elite communists that will take down our country. And you won't have a country of freedom. And even the billionaires will lose also. We need to come together, billionaires, vote for Trump. Come together, young voters, vote for Trump. Come together, Democrats, vote for Trump. Come together, Millennial and Gen X, vote for Trump, vote for freedom. And when I say Trump, leaders know how to make decisions to guide others, empower them to help do the work. So indirectly, you are Trump's work when you work together for freedom. You're together for freedom. Trump is a leader that guides the people to empower them, to give them life, justice, and freedom for all, and restoration. Leaders are a part of their people. So when I say Trump, I say you. When I say vote Trump, I say you, young adults, to save your life. When I say vote Trump, I say you, Gen X and Millennial. When I say vote Trump, I say you, Democrats. When I say vote Trump, I say you, those who are undecided. A leader, a true leader, is not a Hitlerian idea of open borders, criminal lockdowns, taking away our business of oil. Don't know how to solve issues internationally, and don't know how to manufacture and bring small businesses. That is not a leader. A leader knows how to empower others to do the work. I know about this. Many don't know, but I have delivered many guided things on what to do for America that they have used over the years. And even today, they use a lot of my ideas. And I'm lined up with the leaders, because we work together. When you vote Trump, you vote empower you to live a life of freedom. Young voters, when you vote Trump, you vote live a life of freedom and victory and justice for the future. Young adults, vote for Trump. When you vote Trump, he's not only the voice. Vote Trump is the empower for the people. I proved and showed to you by his actions when he was in and today. And what we have in the elite Communist Democratic Party, they do not put the people first, and they don't know how. And they're controlled by the higher levels of hierarchy of the tables. And billionaires, you need to vote Trump. And by the way, you know how there are leaders of different genres of understanding. Your sister, Lisa Luciard, and I call you my sister because I'm a believer. I know how to assess things for the future. And I pray and I hear what's true and what's not true, because I pray and I hear the voice of God's love. But I back it up by truth and justice. People don't say it's politically right to say, oh, I heard this and this is not from God, but it is from God in our Judeo-Christian nation. And if you don't believe in God, and that's the only way for us as believers, then you believe in justice. But I get my information, like I'm writing a book, I get my information from the most purest ideas, called the preeminent. The preeminent. And what is the preeminent? Love. Love is not to keep the borders open and do 1 out of every 4 immigrants are abused, and they're forced into criminology and crime and abuse and rape. And protesters, how would you like for Hamas to come into your nation and your area and rape your family, rape your property, do the most atrocity sin against the human body? That's what they do indirectly to us in America when they've opened borders and had the fentanyl and all the drugs they threw into Philadelphia. We need to come together and protect our nation. And we will vote Trump. Vote Trump. When you vote Trump, you're empowered by justice for your country and your life to be saved. Thank you so much. This is Lisa Lee Chiardon. Please look me up, lisaleechiardon.com and arisetogodstruth.com. You can see my work on LinkedIn. Please support my work. And I sing, I also speak. Thank you so much. I'm so excited because we now realize that we have proof and facts that Trump is the one to vote in. These young people are just voting in because they see it's a woman or they see because you're a Democrat. But she is not Democrat. There's no more Democrats in my book. Arise to God's Truth, and behind the flap, it says it. If you don't want to, you can see what it says on the cover. There's no more Democratic Party. It's ran by lead communists. It shows by their work. It shows by their work their outcome, correct? God bless you. This is Lisa Lee Chiardon. You vote Trump, you vote freedom, and we have to thank Prime Minister Netanyahu and all the Israelites and even the Muslims also that fought for us to protect our nation, USA, and to protect parts of Europe. God bless them. God bless our freedom and justice for all. In God we trust. Thank you.